Police in southern Kentucky say that a vape that is legal in some states could be making its way into Kentucky and to be extremely dangerous if kids use them.
Coming up, although floodwaters are receding, there's still a lot of work to be done in the near future here in Leslie County. I'll have the details from Confluence.
A light snow chance followed by 60-degree temperatures. Welcome to Kentucky weather. Those details now at 6.
Dedicated to Eastern and Southern Kentucky, this is WYMT Mountain News at 6.
A heated exchange in Breathitt County this morning led law enforcement officials to separate two county employees. The incident happened a short time after a fiscal court meeting, moments after the magistrates were served a lawsuit which was created by the county judge executive's attorney. WYMT's Justin Case is talking with both sides to understand how and why this tension nearly got out of hand. Justin?
Steve, both sides, the magistrates here in Breathitt County and attorneys representing the county judge executive, they both sides agree that there are some serious financial issues here in Breathitt County. Now, the tension does come from that issue, but more specifically from a position that the county judge executive is trying to fill, the county road department supervisor. Instead of approving someone for that position, the magistrates are working to divide those responsibilities amongst themselves in order to save money. Now, the lawsuit argues that the position must be filled, something that the magistrates have voted down at least several times. The attorney representing the judge executive points to the recent flooding as a reason why it is so critical to have someone in this position.
They seem to feel that they can cut costs by cutting out a department head of one of the biggest and most essential departments that affects the lives of everyone in this county.
Steve, the magistrate in the video that you saw earlier, that is Donnie Bush. Now, I did talk with him on the phone. He told me that as he was walking out, he said that he needed to leave the room and that he heard the judge executive say, yes, you do need to leave the room. And that's when the sheriff stepped in and tried to diffuse the tension amongst that conversation and separated the two. Now, we did reach out to the judge executive for a comment. Still have not heard back from him at this time. But tonight at 11, we're going to have the full interview with the magistrates here in Breathitt County to explain their side of the story. Much more coming up tonight at 11. Steve?
All right. Certainly been very tense in those fiscal court meetings for the last few weeks. Justin, thank you very much. Well, after nearly a week and a half, floodwaters have finally receded in most parts of Leslie County. Crews are now seeing the damage left in the flooding's wake, but there are still about a dozen homes that are cut off. WYMT's Connor James updates us on what's to come for areas of the community like Confluence, which was hit the hardest.
For emergency management crews,
yes, it's been hectic.
Flooding in Confluence has been an around-the-clock job. Emergency Management Director Anthony Hacker is relatively new to the job.
About a month. What's about a month?
And now that waters are finally receding in Confluence.
Now the roads are damaged, but they're passable, so we're hoping we can keep improving them as we go along.
He's finally beginning to log damages, hoping for state and FEMA funds.
I think we've got probably, rough guess, 10 to 15 houses that are still water bound.
In one of those houses is Monica Gibson.
This is about the worst it's ever been since I've been down here.
For 37 years, she's called this place home.
And we're one of the last ones to get back home.
But she's had to, unfortunately,
my family's been out of our home for 14 days now.
Go somewhere else.
We've had to stay in a hotel.
A teacher at West Perry Elementary.
And we've been out over $2,000 already.
She can't miss work. And this isn't the first time.
We were out for a week and a half last year.
She's had to do it.
So I guess we're, like they say, up the creek without a paddle again.
And she's just hoping,
literally,
something will be done so this won't happen next year too. In Leslie County, Connor James, WYMT Mountain News.
The National Guard was in Leslie County for a few days helping. They left, we understand, late last night. Crews say in the coming days, hopefully the water will completely clear from the remaining areas.
Well, mostly sunny skies across eastern Kentucky and a nice evening here shaping up. It is on the cool side, but look out the front porch for here at the WYMD studio, and you'll notice just a few high-level clouds slowly starting to work in, and a picture-perfect sunset over there at Stonecrest Golf Course over there in Prestonsburg, and temperatures, they're still sitting in the 30s. Notice cloud cover work again along the Cumberland Valley right now. In fact, Wayne County, Pulaski County, McCreary County now starting to see more clouds than sun, and those temperatures dropping quickly, but they shouldn't drop much cooler than what we have been recently. In fact, I think we'll be warmer with temperatures in those lower 20s tonight and those calm winds. Now, those clouds slowly increasing, Steve, and it's ahead of our next system, which could bring some light snow to areas to the north. We'll break down that along with your weekend forecast coming up in a few short minutes.
All right, thank you, Andrew. Parents and school leaders in southern Kentucky are being warned about a new kind of e-cigarette. The Williamsburg police chief says the vapes are in colorful packaging, appealing to kids, but are packed with the ingredients found in illegal drugs. WYMT's Phil Pendleton spoke with police who say the vapes can quickly put kids in the hospital.
Not a gateway drug, marijuana.
Yes, that is the name commonly found on a package of candy.
This one here is it's called Skittles.
But police say there's nothing sweet about the sensation should a child take this.
It causes psychotic episodes. It causes severe panic attacks. It can make you very sick.
These are vapes, also known as e-cigarettes. Each of these are legal in California and some other states, but not in Kentucky. They contain a lot of the key ingredient that's found in marijuana that makes you high.
These particular ones I'm looking at go from 90% all the way up to 93% THC.
Williamsburg police say kids were openly talking about the vapes on social media. Those conversations led police to King Mountain Spur Road, where 2 people were arrested, and a lot of vapes, marijuana, and cash were seized.
They have told us that these vapes have been distributed and that kids are using these in our high schools.
People are saying kids are openly vaping on school grounds, and what's troubling, you can't tell if they're vaping nicotine or something that's a lot more dangerous.
Because when you vape the marijuana, it doesn't put off a marijuana odor.
So the only way to detect the marijuana vapes is by behavior or a drug dog.
If I saw my child with a vape, I'd be concerned.
In Whitley County, Phil Pendleton, WYMT Mountain News.
The Williamsburg school superintendent says they are talking with their students about the possible dangers of e-cigarettes. An update on a high-profile case out of Leslie County. Alyssa Noble is accused of hitting and killing Paige Hayes in a drunk driving crash in August of 2017. A pretrial hearing is now set for May 1st, and her jury trial is expected to begin July 22nd. A familiar face in Kentucky education circles was in Washington, D.C. today. JBOX is the former president of Hazard Community and Technical College and the current president of KCTCS. He is one of 27 members of the American Worker and the American Workforce Policy Advisory Board. Ivanka Trump announced the creation of the board last month with the goal of developing a skilled and educated workforce.
I'm honored to represent the 4.3 million people in Kentucky, and even more so to represent the community colleges in the state of Kentucky. We can't truly meet the needs of the workforce unless we all do work together, and to do that we have to have the employers at the table with the education entities and to try to make that work, and we hope that we can do that.
The advisory board will help promote education and training, recommend ways to improve labor market data, and better identify what companies are looking for in employees. You've likely seen the video and heard the reactions. A group of Covington Catholic students face to face with a Native American elder. The father of the boy at the center of that controversy says he is trying to protect his son. His testimony comes as a bill works its way through Frankfurt. It would stop people from posting children's personal information online. Hillary Thornton has more.
My family and I are living a nightmare.
That is how Ted Sandman sums up life since January, sharing his family's story, pushing for legislation filed by Senator Will Schroeder that would make it a crime to release a child's personal information online with the intent to intimidate or harm.
In writing have you ever seen a more punchable face than this kid's?
Sandman explaining the firestorm of tweets hurled towards his son after his school group's trip to Washington, D.C., using what he says are selective video clips and screenshots.
Nicholas Sandman is 16 years old. There's absolutely no excuse for anybody to ever be able to get away with this.
However, those opposing this bill say they fear it actually violates the First Amendment and that the language is too broad.
Could be as simple as a first and last name, could be as simple as a home or physical address, could be as simple as a school or employment location.
Some lawmakers agreeing the bill needs tightened up, others saying it does not violate the First Amendment, saying just because you can say something doesn't mean you should.
They can say whatever they think about the worthiness of Mr. Phillips' cause, about the actions, about the March for Life. What they can't do is come after a kid.
By criminalizing this conduct, I think it would force people out there to think before they tweeted.
At the Capitol, Hillary Thornton, WYMT Mountain News.
Coming up, he's barely old enough to drive a car, but he's almost ready to pilot a plane on his own. We'll introduce you to the Leslie County teen taking to the skies.
And warm temperatures are expected for the weekend, but we have to get through some snow first in this forecast. We'll have those details coming up in 5 minutes.
When you see news happening, dial star 57 or text your news tip to 5757. Service is provided by Appalachian Wireless. Better service, bigger savings.
Around here, when winter rolls around, you never know what Mother Nature's going to throw at you.